Laughlin, Nevada is well known for its many outdoor activities, most of which you probably already know about, but there's one you may not. I just learned about it myself, and it's perfect for all abilities and all ages. Welcome to Heritage Trails. After walking along the river on one of the Heritage Trails, I met up with Bill Martin, retired outdoor resource management planner from the Bureau of Reclamation. He's also one of the people responsible for this hidden gem. Now, here in the shadow of the Davis Dam, we have Heritage Park.
Right.
Tell me about, how did this place come into being?
Heritage Park was a opportunity, just happened, certain things all came together and numerous partners stepped up to work together to make it happen. It was pretty much alignment of several things that would not probably normally happen. Bullhead City hired a contractor that pulled the communities on both sides of the river together to do a report in 2005 on the possibility of doing trails on both sides of the Colorado River. They also gave them zones. This zone, due to its historic nature of Native Americans building the dam or construction housing on both sides of the river, which called the Heritage Zone. A couple of years later, my agencies decided to do a study of this area since we did not want to give it up, but we knew there were opportunities that with the development of recreation on the river that we could provide some opportunities here. And so we worked with Park Service, Clark County, Bullhead City, Mojave County, and Native American groups and looked at some options.
Why is it called Heritage Trail?
Well, if you look around this area, we have, like across the river here, we have a mountain this back over there that's actually is very important to the 5 Native American communities in the area. It has about 111 petroglyphs on it. Because so we're told that when they couldn't get to Spirit Mountain, their medicine men and elders would hold ceremonies there. It's also, when we first went to build the dam up here, there was no power grid, there were no roads, and so we had to build everything to build the dam. And so we built housing for the reclamation staff on the Arizona side, and our contractor built housing on the Nevada side for the construction crews. And we had like 5 bridges across the river during that period. And so there was also mining in this area. And of course, long before us, there was Native Americans farming and living in this area. So it was one of the more earlier developed areas along the Colorado River. In fact, there was a big fishing camp at what was called Big Bend, just downriver from us, that is now was the start of Bullhead City. And then Laughlin was actually part of the Fort Mojave Act. Bureau of Reclamation sold to the state of Nevada up to 15,000 acres to create what is now Laughlin.
So heritage basically is a name that implies there was a lot of history here.
A lot of history, heritage of both Anglos and also Native Americans.
So tell me, how many paths are here, and are there plans for more?
There are in the master plan. It's not built out. You know, the county figured as demand grew, they would be able to add. For example, if you look around in this area, there are some areas that were nothing's at yet. There were plans for like 15 picnic shelters in this area, and there's like 8 at this moment.
But there's a lot going on here. Like,
yes.
How many miles of paths are there for starters?
The greater Heritage Trail area, which includes both sides of the river, has about 45 miles of trails. There's 7 miles of the paved 12-foot wide trails, but there's also other biking and hiking trails that go out through sections 10 and 11 and give people the opportunity that want to run and bicycle on those terrain that don't want to do it on a hardened surface.
And when you say people, this seems like an area that's good for entire families. Anybody can come out here at any level.
That was one of the things that both the county, Reclamation, and Park Service all agreed on, that we wanted this to be something for the community as well as the tourists, that the families could come out here, enjoy, spend the day, have a picnic, play in the water park, play on the equipment. And you also had to remember that in Laughlin they only have one other park. And so this is important for the community as well as the tourism.
And do you think it's done that? I mean, what does this mean for the people of Laughlin?
Well, it's funny because I was involved in the original studies, the funding, the design, the construction, and then now the use before I retired. And I still come down here. People have taken a lot of ownership. Like sometimes when I've come down here in a federal vehicle before I retired, doing my annual inspections, I'd be in a federal vehicle, people would come over and knock on my window and said, "You're not supposed to be driving here," because they've taken ownership. They like the trail. It's an opportunity to come out, has great views of the river, there's potable water, there's restrooms, it's safe, part of it's lighted, so sections can be walked at nighttime. You know, there was a lot of thought by a lot of people went into designing and building and now operating this facility.
And I wonder, how does that feel?
It really makes your heart feel great when you see people using it. You can do studies and plans all your life, but what really makes me tick and why I stayed working so long was seeing people use projects.
Why is that so important?
Because I feel that you should always leave an area better than you found it. And that you should always try to find ways to make it better for the resource management and the people that use the area.
You know, your legacy is all over this place, and I really, someday I want to have a legacy like yours. I look at this beautiful spot, I'm looking at the beautiful river, I feel the peace it feels, and someday I hope to have a legacy like yours. Thanks for all that you've done.
Numerous things came together to make this opportunity happen. And I've just been fortunate that I could help facilitate this one, the Historic Railroad Trail, River Mountain Loop Trail, Sacramento River Trail, some of the things that I enjoy doing and more enjoy seeing people use them.
You know, walking the heritage trails along the Colorado River really gives you a sense of calm, of peace, of timelessness, but it's also an invitation to you to take part in this beautiful legacy. Your only job is to say yes.